In July 1793, an outbreak of yellow fever erupted in Philadelphia, the temporary capital of the new American nation. By August, the city's residents were in flight. Half the populace of the city, those who could afford to leave, abandoned their homes in an attempt to save their lives. Those who remained behind practiced social distancing and fashioned face masks out of handkerchiefs. President George Washington resolved to remain in the capital as a symbol of confidence, but eventually he fled as well to his home in Mount Vernon. And Thomas Jefferson wrote, "It is called a yellow fever, but it is like nothing ever seen or read of by the physicians." By the time the epidemic subsided in November, Philadelphia was literally decimated. 1/10 of the city's population had been killed off by the plague. Does this sound familiar? Well, there's even more to the story. Almost from day one of Washington's presidency, his Secretary of State Thomas Jefferson and his Secretary of the Treasury Alexander Hamilton battled one another ferociously over the direction each believed the country should take. Hamilton wanted a strong federal government, while Jefferson wanted to limit governmental power in favor of states' rights. By the beginning of 1793, the political infighting and vicious tactics threatened to tear the young nation apart. Only when the panic of epidemic descended on the capital did the partisan combatants set their differences aside. 2 decades later, John Adams wrote in a letter to Thomas Jefferson, "Nothing but the yellow fever could have saved the United States from a total revolution of government." Which should make us wonder, what has changed so dramatically? Political partisanship was no less intense then, and political rhetoric is no more incendiary today. So why is the same kind of plague that brought about political solidarity 2 centuries ago the source of increased political acrimony today? Maybe it comes down to trust. Back then, with freedom newly won and nationalistic spirit flowing through the veins of most every American, leaders may have disagreed on policy as vehemently as they do now, but they trusted the sincerity of their political opponents' motivations, even if they despised their ideologies. Today, there is no trust. Politics has become the national religion, which means that one half the country will always see the other half as heretical, and vice versa. Once a culture of heresy takes root, compromise becomes impossible, since by definition, heretics deserve to die. Even worse, political dissent spills over into our communities, our businesses, our schools, and our families. We can't make peace, since those with whom we disagree seek to destroy everything we believe in. Or so we convince ourselves. So the next time you find yourself assuming the worst about someone who disagrees with you, remember, they might be assuming the same thing about you. Rather than attack or condemn, ask them to explain their position. Listen and try to understand why they believe what they believe. You might find that there's room to both agree and disagree. There's room for both respect and skepticism. There's room for both standing on principle and principled compromise. What can you do today to vaccinate yourself against the plague of mistrust and viral hatred? I'm Jonas Goldson. Stay safe and stay ethical.